it is impossible to do all of the things that the majority leader laid out without doing, frankly, without disrespecting the institution and without disrespecting one of the two holiest of holidays for Christians and the families of all of the Senate, not just the senators themselves, but all of the staff. It happened last year. It actually has happened in some previous years. It doesn't have to happen this year. It's no secret that I've told the majority leader and several of you that I didn't think there was time to complete the treaty, and that was actually last week when he laid out his agenda, and I won't repeat all of the items on it, but you all heard him. I think all of you have been around here long enough to ask yourself, how could all of that reasonably be done? Now, the answer is, of course, it can't. And at some point, the leader will have to say no. But it's always easier if somehow other factors cause things to fall off the table so he doesn't have to say no, especially to his own members. He has a tough job, I understand that, and that's why at least at this stage he's still saying that all of these things are possible. I was trying to make a point earlier that maybe is a little esoteric, but when you hear somebody like Judd Gregg give the final speech that he's ever going to make on the Senate floor and remind us about why this institution is so important to our country, and then being faced immediately walking out of the chamber with the prospect of having to do things that would fly directly in the face of the important principles that he laid out, I thought it was worth laying them out to all of you as just something to reflect on as you think about the schedule that we're trying to achieve here before the end of the year.
Would you encourage colleagues to support closure on Stark under this scenario?
I would discourage them from doing so. Cloture, though, is not the key vote here. The problem is that you're playing Russian roulette here because really there's only one vote that counts, and that's final passage.
Senator Reid said that he believes there are 67 votes for START at this point, suggesting that there are enough Republican votes to make up the difference. Is he mistaken?
I will resist the temptation to go over the record of things where the majority leader perhaps predicted something prematurely. Let's just put it that way.
Senator Kyl, the leader talked.
If I'm really going to resist the temptation, I better resist the temptation.
Okay. Senator Reid talked about there's Congress after Christmas. Also said, well, Congress doesn't end until January 4th. What do you think of the idea of staying here? I know you're not for all these items that Reid pointed out here, but staying here after Christmas.
Well, here's my view. Saturday at midnight, the government funding runs out. We have to deal with that. That's the only thing that has to be dealt with. And it has to be dealt with at that time. So the first question is, why would you put anything else in front of that, knowing that it's going to take quite a difficult process to get to that point? It seems to me that that's the first priority, assuming that we're able to pass the tax bill and send it on to the White House. And then you have to ask, is there anything that's absolutely necessary beyond that? Especially with a lame duck Congress, some of whose members have been defeated. And then talk about being here between Christmas and New Year's or right up to January 3rd when the new members take over. I think that would be extraordinary, and anything that were to be done during that period of time would not have the respect of the American people, just as the process for concluding the health care legislation last year was done in such a way that I don't think has the respect of the American people. Thank you.